everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be going through Pei Chun Public School question number 17. This is their WA1 in 2025, so this is a very recent year paper, and really this question is whole thing is really on this topic called digestion. Okay, so this question state what digestion is. It's actually an actual PSLE question in 2022. It's quite recent. They are just testing you on definition, and this should be a basic recall of what digestion is. Okay, the main idea will be just digestion is the process of breaking down food into simple substances. This will be the main idea. You need to write down this. Okay, and that can be absorbed by the body. Okay, another function of digestive system is really absorption. Okay, digestion and absorption is the key function of digestive system. And from this, right, the common mistakes is that usually people will break down food into smaller pieces. Okay, sometimes they get confused. Is it smaller pieces or simple substances? This is the correct one. Okay, this is also this right is related to this question. Okay, how does chewing helps in digestion? Okay, this type of question, this kind of question that come out, right, is actually related to surface area. So let me just sidetrack a little bit. So really, you have to probably, if you want to answer this in terms of this, you'll be chewing. Okay, make the food into smaller pieces. Okay, and then you will do what? Because you will chew them into smaller pieces, you will increase surface area in contact with digestive juices. Okay, then you will speed up digestion. Okay, this is usually a questions that will come in P4. It's a 2-mark question. Okay, how does chewing helps in digestion? But this question is really about asking you a very basic definition of what digestion is. This is a textbook answer. Okay, if you are still not sure, go refer to your textbook. Okay, this came out in 2021. Okay, for this part, right, this part of the question, right, is actually very novel. It's very new. This is also one of the PSLE question, but in 2021. Okay, the actual questions look a little bit like this. Okay, David add a bowl of rice, then they tell you the rice digested into sugar, then they show you different parts, then they ask you to evaluate this. Okay, so this question over here is actually the exact PSLE question for question number 31. So, but this question is actually a modification. So they put actually one more alphabet long, which is the end of the stomach. So let's take a look at this. Paul add a bowl of food X. Food X is digested into sugar. This, you have to know what this means. This is a key part. This is a inference question. Okay, they are giving you additional new information, and they expect you to use that new information to solve this question. Okay, so digested into sugar. Food X digested into sugar. Okay, sugar in this case will be another name for digested food. Okay, this is another name for digested food. You probably need to know this. Okay, based on this statement alone. After 4 hours, the doctor measured the amount of sugar in various parts of the digestive system. Okay, you take a look. L, then you have M. This is more or less at the start of stomach or at the end of the gullet. Okay, then the M, right, it looks like the end of the stomach. So I'll put this down. End of stomach. This is the start of stomach. And then you have this. Okay, this is a small intestine. It looks like it at the start versus at the end of small intestine. Okay, this part N and O. Okay, so you take a look. The graph shows the amount of sugar at different parts of the digestive system. Okay, so based on the graph, state whether food X is being digested in the stomach. Okay, so you're interested to look at this, right? You need to look at these two parts. L, okay, L and M. So this and this. Okay, whether food is being digested. You take a look. The amount of sugar at the start of the stomach, the amount of the sugar, the amount of sugar at the end of the stomach, they look the same. Okay, they did not increase, they did not decrease. So is food X is being digested? Since there is no increase in the amount of sugar, there's no food being digested. So the food eggs, right, just enter into the stomach and then at the exit out of the stomach, there's no digestion involved in that process. Of course, some of this food, right, that enters, right, is already being digested because it's done at the mouth. Okay, that means the mouth actually digests some of the food eggs into sugar. Okay, there is a part that is undigested, which is the undigested food eggs, which remains over here. Okay, which remains over here. So let me just draw it properly. Undigested food eggs. This is the undigested food eggs. So if we were to look at it this way, okay, so I can also say that this part is also the undigested food eggs. Okay, let me just color it. This is the undigested food eggs. Right? Then the shaded part, this will be the sugar or digested food eggs. Okay, so you're very clear cut. Okay, is food is being digested in stomach? No. Okay, no food is being digested in the stomach. No, this is the choice. You have to back it up with evidence. You use the graph. The graph tells you one thing: the amount of sugar remain the same. Okay, use exactly what they give it to you. Amount of sugar. Okay, and then you just have to come up with one word: remain the same. Okay, the amount of sugar remain the same between L and M. Okay, L and N. Okay, so sorry, this should be L and M, not N. Okay, L and M. So we are using these two alphabets. Okay, so that will be the answer for part B. The amount of sugar decrease. Okay, between N and O. N and O over here is your small intestine. So how come the sugar will increase? Okay, they're asking you this part over here missing. Where did it went to? Okay, so if I were to relook at this, maybe at the start of N, okay, we have, let's say, 50 units of sugar, 50 units of digested food. Then at the end, right, you only left 10 units of digested food. So where did the 40 units go? The 40 units is probably go into the bloodstream. Okay, so you have to understand this is small intestine. They have two functions: digestion, absorption. Okay, so the digestion will responsible to increase the sugar in the small intestine. The absorption will decrease the sugar or decrease the digested food because it helps to bring the sugar, okay, which is the 40 units I'm talking about here, into the blood. It already entered into the blood already. Okay, it's no longer in the small intestine. That's why this thing become lesser. Okay, so this is really you have to think about the functions of small intestine. Apart from digestion, there's absorption. So in this case, sugar decrease due to absorption process. Okay, the digested food, which is the sugar, actually you don't really have to write this, but if you want, you can talk about it. Is absorbed into the bloodstream. Okay, from where to where? Okay, you cannot just say absorb. Okay, absorb to where? Absorb into the bloodstream. This will be the key parts. Okay, so the last part is also a definition question. Okay, undigested food enter an organ after leaving the small intestine. So I think there is a question that below that say name the organ and explain the function of the organ. Okay, I think it's someone not written here, probably a technical error. So you have to name the organ and talk about the function. Okay, talk about function. This is the question. Okay, this is the question. Okay, I probably should have put it in. Okay, so it's basically a large intestine. After leaving small intestine will be a large intestine. Okay, water is absorbed from the undigested food into the bloodstream. So the main few key ideas: water absorbed from where to where. Okay, always remember this kind of question. From where to where is important. Okay, this is actually similar to your plant transport. Okay, make this a habit. Tell me from where, then it go to where through what. Okay, similar idea. You're going to apply it into digestive system. Okay, with that, we are more or less come to the end of this question. You can download a piece of this question into from the description that I put below. I'll put a Google Drive link. You can download from there, or alternatively you can take a look at the Google forms, which will direct you to the past PSL question of this one. Okay, with that, thank you very much.